Okay, so I've just bought these two buckets back from the Guatiplast factory in Guatemala City, and you can see that they're the same size. They're 15 liters each bucket, and the only difference is that this one has its chorro, so you can get the water out here through this tap. This bucket cost me, obviously at wholesale price because I did buy it directly from the factory. This bucket cost 35 quetzales, and this bucket cost 25 quetzales. You can see that they're not transparent, as we're looking for a transparent bucket, and they're not semi-transparent either. So this is just kind of standard design, standard color that they have, and they have readily in stock, and you can buy them individually. You can buy them in whatever quantity you would desire. So we're currently waiting back from Guatiplast to find out how much it's going to cost us to have a transparent bucket made. Our minimum order would be 1,000 buckets. That's 500 water purifiers. Obviously, 2 buckets for each water purifier, and the quantity of 1,000 should bring down the price a little bit. So we're saying 35 quetzales and 25 quetzales, 60 quetzales in total. However, I'm kind of expecting some sort of increase in price for the fact that we're having them made out of transparent plastic. So it's perhaps going to cost around about the same amount, 60 quetzales for the two buckets. But obviously we should find out in the next couple. So while we're waiting to find out on the price for the 1,000 buckets, I just wanted to work out here if the buckets would be suitable for installing the water filter. So really simple. This bucket goes on top of the first bucket, and you can see straight away that this bucket here, the top bucket, is actually sitting on this rim. So it's actually elevated from this base, if you like. So what I have here is this is an Impaqui, and this is from an old water filter, and I'm just going to put that in the middle there, and then we're basically going to drill a hole through here, and then we need a hole here on the reverse side of the top bucket as well. So really simple, and we're going to put it together, and we just want to check that it doesn't leak. And the main problem that we could have, the main issue that we could have would be for the plastic. Sometimes the plastic is quite brittle, so it has a tendency to crack when you open up a hole in it. So we're just gonna check that out and see how it goes, and see how we can put. Okay, all done. So we have the candle now screwed into the bucket. We just made a hole in the bucket. We made a hole in the lid part there. I just had to actually go out and get the right drill bit, which was half an inch drill bit, and it actually cut really easily, and there was no problems with the plastic cracking. In fact, the plastic seems like very good plastic. It's kind of flexible. You can see there, and so when you're traveling around with it, when it's on the top of a camioneta, there's really not much risk of it cracking or breaking. So just to kind of recap, there are 3 rubber washers that we're using instead of the standard 2. So this is one of the, you can see that this is one of the rubber washers, and there's also one that that's in fact is just under the candle on this side of the bucket, and then there's also the rubber washer, the extra rubber washer if you like, that's between the bucket and the lid here. And so in fact I don't know if you can, there you can just see it down there, and so that's really to prevent the lid from being kind of bent upwards towards the bucket, and to kind of keep the lid level, and so you can see it looks, we just put it on top there, it looks pretty professional, I guess. The only thing is, just as I was demonstrating there, you can pull the lid away from the base of the bucket. I don't think that's a problem. When you push that down, push that one down, and then that clips on, and then to unclip it, no, I don't see that really being a problem. So now we just have to check that the water doesn't leak. Just a couple of things to note. One is the water dispenser. the Yavi is actually quite high on these buckets. It's probably 2 inches from the bottom, whereas on the water purifiers that we currently sell, then they're probably about 1 inch from the bottom, which means obviously when you get low on water on the second bucket, when you get very low, then the water's not going to flow through the dispenser here. And the other thing to note is that you have the handles on these buckets. In fact, the handles I think you can very easily remove here. So we could take the handle off this bottom bucket. But the handle on the top bucket is actually very useful. When I was filling it up with water there, it was very useful to be able to carry the bucket by the handle.